You've been told your entire life that your genetics decides what happens to your body. And you've been told that what happens to you determines how you will feel and how you will think. Both of those statements could not be more wrong. However, if you've been living as though those statements are true, and even if you've been doing everything right on paper, I know that something still does not feel like it's working. It's as if something or someone somehow finds a way to ruin your mood or impact your health. It's not a sign that there's something wrong with you. That's actually a sign that nobody in your life ever taught you what was actually yours to control. You see, 20 years ago, there was a man in orange robes that taught me one of the greatest lessons of my life. It's a lesson that has made it to the front of almost every single one of my journals, and it shaped almost all of the most important decisions that I've made in my life since as well. At times I've forgotten, but a few years later, there was a doctor who tried to unteach me that same lesson. He told me that I was gonna get a disease and that there was nothing that I could do about it. As you can probably imagine with my tone, he was wrong. But the scary thing was I almost believed him. Most of the men that I work with and coach aren't struggling because they lack discipline. Actually, not at all. They're struggling because nobody ever taught them the difference between reacting to life and actually running it. There's a difference. What's up, everyone? My name's Shyambo, and I have spent the last 20 years in a spiritual tradition where I happen to study where ancient spiritual practice and modern science came together. Now I get to coach men on how to close that gap. And today I'm going to share with you two stories. One story is from a high school classroom, and one story is from a doctor's office. And by the end, you'll understand the one distinction that separates a man who manages his life and a man who is managed by his life. Big difference. And before we begin, I want to ask you a question. When was the last time that you made a decision that wasn't a reaction to something? Not driven by a craving, an insecurity, or a fear, or a deadline, or a task list, a decision that actually came from you. Just you. I recorded what you're about to see about 8 months ago, and the lessons from these two stories has been true in my life for the last 20 years. And I'm confident that it will also be true in my life for the rest of my life. And I pray that it helps you live yours more intentionally. So let me take you back to the two moments that changed everything. The first story takes place when I was in high school. I was sitting in a small classroom, but in an elementary school. The local temple that I used to go to at that time, we didn't have a venue. So we rented out the gym and 2 classrooms of an elementary school. And I'm sitting there, and there's this Swami sitting across from me. There's a group of people, some older, some younger than me. And I couldn't process a couple of things. This person sitting in front of me was born and raised in America. Yet they're sitting in front of me in orange clothes, owning nothing of their own, but also not touching money and having a really strict regimen, a really strict lifestyle, learning how to manage one thing, which is what he was talking about. Pulled up a scripture, said a verse, and that one line has stayed with me for the rest of my life up until today. Literally, it's there. It's been in the front of almost all of my journals that I've ever written. And he said this: there are those who control their mind, and then there are those who are controlled by their mind. This should be thought about continuously. I want you to ask yourself a question. Today, how many things did you think about that you wanted to think about? How many things did you think about because your mind made you think of them? How many things did you do today because you wanted to do them? You thought it through. It wasn't a rash judgment. It wasn't a, I'm craving this, I gotta go. Why are you craving it? Who's craving it? The body's craving it? There's a difference between me and the body. And that concept that the mind is a tool, it's not something where I'm supposed to be used by it, completely changed. I'm in high school, and I started seeing answers to all the problems my peers and even myself at that time was going through. Almost all of those problems had to do with playing the victim card, blaming a person, blaming a situation, blaming a thing, complaining about something I couldn't control. And I realized all those complaints were reactions. They weren't responses. It was something my body was just doing or was responding to discomfort. My mind just had a reaction to somebody's behavior. And then I thought that's just how it's supposed to be. That's just who I am. But I started to realize in that moment that the key to a well-lived life was not being able to have a fast reaction to somebody and win an argument on the fly and to have a better comeback and have a good joke. That's kind of what it was in high school, right? To be liked, you needed to be the person who was quick-witted. But I started realizing very quickly it was a person who had control over their mind and their tongue and their words and their actions and their thoughts that was actually in control. Story number 2, sitting in a small, dimly lit room, literally it was dimly lit, in a big campus, really, on Bishop Street, on College Avenue campus at Rutgers University. The university was gracious enough to be able to give us free medical checkups, and so I got my blood checked, done the year before, and then again that year, and then I was going to get it done one more time. This time I'm waiting for the doctor to walk through the door. He walks through the door, and he asked me a couple of questions. One of them was, is there anyone in your family that has diabetes? And I said, yes, my grandmother. But why? I was like, because you're borderline diabetic, you're going to be pre-diabetic in just one point, and there's a really good chance that you're going to have diabetes as you grow older. And I said, but why will I have diabetes? Like, because your grandmother did, so you're most likely going to have it as well. And I said, what can I do about it? And he just said, well, just do the best you can. No other instructions. I don't know, it's probably a long day for the doctor. The doctors are good. Rutgers University is fantastic, but something about that didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. And I walked out of there and I said, wait a second, there's no way I'm going to live the rest of my life thinking there's nothing I can do. There's got to be something I can do. And that one thought from high school, there are those who control their mind and there are those who are controlled by their mind. This should be thought about continuously. It came right into my mind and I said, all right, I must be intentional. What am I going to eat? Why am I eating it? What am I going to put in my mouth? What am I going to drink? When am I going to drink it? What time am I going to eat? I started thinking about the things that I've been putting in my mouth. The story's long, but let's just cut to the chase. That second lesson and the first story both taught me one thing, which is what I hope to communicate as an umbrella lesson of all of the things that I'll talk about in the Brighter Mindset, is the ability of being intentional. See, I learned that there were so many people around me that knew how to achieve things. They were really good at achieving this benchmark or getting this test score or starting a business and getting these types of sales. But what I found was most of the people around me weren't happy. They were chasing something thinking that once they got it, they'd be happy. Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, and I'll bring him up often because I've learned from him across the last 15 years. And I'm going to combine the spiritual practice that I have, which is unbelievably practical. So I help people, in short, live intentional and healthier lives by making spirituality practical. That's the only type of spirituality I've ever learned. It's the one that you do, you think about, and you talk about, and you act on. It's not something you just contemplate on. It's more than that. I found that most of the people around me were not fulfilled. And there's an art to fulfillment. People can have the skill set to be achievers, but most people don't know what it takes to be fulfilled. Before I continue, I want to give you something that you can use tonight, not next week, literally tonight or right now. I recorded a 10-minute guided box breathing or Samavritti Pranayam session. It's not a music playlist or app subscription. Literally, it's just me walking you through one of the most studied breathing practices in neuroscience. I've interwoven some the breathing practice with some body relaxation sequences built into it. Listen, soldiers use this before combat and during. I use this before bed many times throughout the day, and my clients use it at random times as well. The link is in the description. I would love for you to download it, use it, and actually benefit from it. Place it on your phone or your laptop tonight or when you're at the park or during the day. Play it on the bus or the train with your headphones on. Maybe before a meeting in your office, just press play, listen to what I say and guide you on, and just do it. It is the simplest entry point into everything that I teach on this channel. I'm also building something much bigger, which is for another time, but it's going to be a totally free self-assessment, which I'm calling the Energy Audit. 37 questions across 9 areas of your life. And when you finish, you get a personalized breakdown of where you actually stand. Not your bank account, not your bench press, not your squat, your energy, your peace, your relationships, your sleep, things that really matter. It'll be an honest mirror that no one sees but you. And if you're seeing this video after the audit is live, the link's in the description below. If you're seeing it before the audit is live, there's a wait list. So add your name to that and you'll be one of the first people to know about this. And then you can take the audit and see where you land. The links are in the description. I'll meet you tonight if you choose to use the guided intentional breathing practice meditation. Otherwise, let's get back to the video. And I feel so indebted to my gurus, Pramukh Swami, Mahant Swami, and all the mentors, the Swamis that have taught me along the way, and the coaches that I've had, along with Tony Robbins. I feel indebted to them because they opened my eyes to a reality that was right in front of me, but I was too ignorant to see. So I hope that the time that you spend on this channel with me, talking to you, spending time with you, you engage. You really fully invest. You don't think about these videos as just some entertainment you listen to while you're having a meal. I want you to focus. I want you to think. I want you to really introspect. I want to help you introspect deeper, walk away with more practical insights, and actually apply things into your life so you can bring a change today. Not when you get that house or you have that vacation home. It's not when you have 3 kids. It's now. Life is now, and it's short. We have no idea how fast it's just going to disappear. It's going to go like this. And my goal with this channel is to help you live more intentionally. So not only can you have a healthier life, I'm going to talk about food, diet, and all of that stuff, but also you have a healthier mindset. I want you to find more fulfillment, and I'm going to do it through uplifting content. I hope this is something that you're excited about, because I am. I'd like to pray for all of you that are here. I will pray that any time that you spend watching any of the videos that I put out on this channel, it's something that enhances the quality of your life. It makes your life better. I hope that this channel and the time you spend with me helps you live a more intentional, healthier, and a positive life. All right, so if something in this video moved something in you, I want to leave you with 2 things. First, a request. If this helped you, subscribe. Not because I need the number, but because what I'm building here is designed to give you at least one thing every single week that makes your life measurably better. And this is not content for content's sake. I hope you understand that. Every video on this channel, I hope it serves as a tool. And second, there's a guided meditation and breathing practice, a pranayam practice that I've recorded and placed in the description below. When you choose to do this breathing practice consistently, it breaks the pattern of your nervous system. And that's the most important part. Instead of being on in fight or flight or freeze, you break that pattern and you put it into a total relaxation. And the more consistently you do this, the more your nervous system learns from that. Try it tonight and then find a regular time to repeat it over and over and over again for as long as you can. And listen, if you know a man who needs to hear this, a brother, a friend, a father, someone who is doing everything right on paper, but something still feels off, send this to him. I will see you on the next one.